I think the current comptroller has done a terrible job. And that's really what stimulated me to run for this office. The backstory is this. I was in business in 2011. This is the 82nd legislature. I read in the newspaper that we had a looming deficit, according to the comptroller, which caused a number of cuts, including massive cuts to public education. And something seemed really wrong about that because I was in business, and why are we having a deficit? I mean, the worst was over in terms of the recession. We had several very strong quarters behind us. My clients were investing and growing. What is it about state accounting where we're just now trying to cope with the deficit? It did not make sense to me, and it turns out my instincts were right. Not only did we not have a deficit, we had a tremendous surplus, which means that all those teachers that we fired and those education cuts, they weren't necessary. They weren't necessary. They were the direct result of a bad forecast from the comptroller. Now, I'm often asked, was it politically motivated? Some people believe that it might be. Or is it just a lack of competence? And my reaction is, it doesn't matter. What we need to do is take politics completely out of it and put competence in it so that that never happens again. Because we're a very large, very prosperous state with the oil boom, very prosperous state. And yet for some reason we can't seem to find the money for roads and schools and water. When we change revenue forecasting, get politics out of it, put competence into it, we're going to find that we've got so much more money to work with without raising taxes. I hate taxes. I do not want to see our legislature raise taxes. We could do so much more with the money we have. Now, here's specifically what I have in mind in terms of revenue forecasting. I mentioned this old-fashioned way of doing it, which might have fit the state, a different state 50 years ago. We do it every other year, and then the legislature meets every other year, and then they all go home, and then you wait 2 years. And so it's not working. It is just not working. Now, legislature meeting every other year is fine. I wish Washington would meet every other year. But the back office support, such as the revenue forecast, needs to be modernized, updated. And when we think about how we do it in business, that's the way we ought to do it here. It's very simple. Specifically what I mean is let's do that every quarter. Update the revenue forecast every quarter, every 3 months. That's what we do in business. Here's why that's so good, Chris. First of all, we'll be much more accurate. You know, forecasting is all about understanding the correlation between our economic growth and then revenue growth. We do that every quarter, so you'll be much more accurate, be much more timely, and so Texans will know, the legislature will know on an ongoing basis where we stand, which will be very valuable to us. And perhaps most importantly is you can't play political games with something that you're updating every quarter. And so if you want to take politics out of it and put competence into it, you convert and do it every quarter. My opponent, Senator Hager, who's not a financial professional, he's a career politician and has never done anything in accounting or finance, has yet to grasp this. And it's a big mistake. This is really what we need to do.